Coming up, the president gives middle-class America little hope tonight in his speech to the nation. Good news about shooting victim Jason McEnany. Will have a live report. And never worry about bad breath again. We'll tell you how in New at 11 Plus.
Now, live, you're watching News Center 6. New at 11.
Good evening, everyone. Jack has the night off. New at 11, President Clinton calls it a middle-class Bill of Rights to improve America's standard of living. It's a $60 billion package of tax breaks, and Regina Blakely reports what it will mean to you.
Good evening.
Promising his working rule for the next 2 years would be country first, politics as usual, dead last. President Clinton went to the voters calling for a middle-class Bill of Rights. His proposals include a $500 per child tax deduction for children up to 12 years of age for families making up to $75,000. The president also called for tax deductions for college tuition and post-high school training. Another proposal, tax-free withdrawals of IRA funds for education, medical expenses, and care of elderly parents. And finally, taking money out of federal training programs and giving that money to individuals. President Clinton said he would pay for the $60 billion in credits and deductions by streamlining departments, including energy, transportation, and HUD. The president said he would work with the new Republican Congress, but he also set forth some things he would not do.
I won't support ideas that sound good but aren't paid for. Ideas that weaken the progress we've made in previous 2 years for working families. Ideas that hurt poor people who are doing their dead-level best to raise their kids and into the middle class.
In the Republican response, newly elected Senator Fred Thompson from Tennessee maintained the recent elections had caught the president's attention. But on behalf of the new majority, he promised they would continue with their agenda.
We welcome the president to help us lead America in a new direction. But if he will not, we'll welcome the president to follow, because we're moving ahead.
This speech was more than just an opportunity to lay out a competing tax plan. It was an effort by a president who's falling in the polls to reach out to a constituency that put him in office. Regina Blakely, CBS News at the White House.
We've got some good news tonight about Jason McEnany, the SUNY student shot while overpowering a gunman during yesterday's hostage crisis. Marianne Worley is live at Albany Med with the latest. Marianne?
JoAnne, the good news is that Jason McEnany's condition here at Albany Med has been upgraded tonight from serious to fair. Right now, he is recovering from his second operation.
Med officials say hero Jason McEnany needed a second operation late today to remove dead tissue from his bullet wound, but that he is doing better and his family's spirits have been lifted. Jason couldn't be there, but late this afternoon, Governor-elect George Pataki traveled to SUNY Albany to personally thank Jason and the 4 other hostage students who overpowered alleged gunman Ralph Tortorisi.
On behalf of the people of this state, this great state, I want to just thank you for your heroism, your courage, your leadership, your sense of responsibility, and your tremendous willingness to take a risk.
SUNY Albany officials have told us a little more about the apparently troubled mind of accused gunman Ralph Tortorisi, that there have been 4 complaints filed against him dating back to 1990, and includes an instance where Tortorisi claimed that someone had implanted a transmitter in his penis. Late this afternoon, Tortorisi left Albany Med briefly for a date with a judge to be arraigned for attempted murder and unlawful imprisonment.
He's hanging in there. He's got some serious problems, and we're just happy at this point that no one was killed, and our hearts go out for all the families.
Now, Ralph Tortorisi is here at Albany Med. We understand he is under 24-hour guard by the Albany County Sheriff's Department. JoAnne.
Jason's parents, I know we haven't heard from them yet, and I believe they're at the hospital. Do we have any indication when they will speak to the media, Marianne?
JoAnne, they have been here at the hospital. They have said that they didn't want to go public until Jason was doing better. Now that he is, we may be able to introduce you to them possibly as early as tomorrow. We hope.
We certainly hope so. Thank you very much, Marianne Worley. By the way, SUNY held a counseling session on the campus today for any students who needed to talk about the ordeal. The media was not allowed in for that. A number for students to call if they need to talk has also been set up. It's 442-5777 and can be accessed 24 hours a day throughout the weekend.
Happening on the Neighborhood Watch, a deadly night on Route 5 in Glenville. Police say 69-year-old Wendell Fallis was driving his station wagon around 6:30 tonight when he smashed head-on into the back of a tractor-trailer. No word on why he didn't stop. He was pronounced dead at Ellis Hospital a short time later. And only moments later, 1 mile down the road, a two-car accident sent 2 people to area hospitals. Police say a car driven by 69-year-old Anthony Pryan turned into the path of an oncoming car driven by a 22-year-old Schenectady man. Pryan was charged with DWI. Troy police are combing the city right now looking for 2 black or Hispanic men they say held up the Barry Scott Insurance Agency at knife point. It happened at 114 Congress Street just hours ago. The robbers, wearing ski masks, forced the 2 female clerks to lie on the floor while they took cash and checks from the office. The men fled in a light blue Mazda that matches the description of a car reported stolen earlier today. East Greenbush police believe last night's jewelry heist was the work of professionals. They say sometime between 8 o'clock last night and 7:30 this morning, robbers broke into Hackles Jewelers on Route 4 and Columbia Turnpike, disarmed the alarm system, broke down a wall, and then cleared out the safe. No word yet on the exact amount stolen, but officials say it is a significant amount of gems. A second person is behind bars tonight, charged in the August murder of Will. This was the scene earlier this summer on 2nd Street in Albany. Police now say Glynis Johnson also played a part in that murder. She was arrested earlier today on Northern Boulevard and charged with Price's murder. Her arrest was the result of a lengthy investigation by Albany police. The city of Fresno has just released the frantic 911 tapes from yesterday's fiery Learjet crash. Callers can be heard frantically yelling for help, describing the flames, and begging for help to arrive. Listen closely, and you can hear the 911 operator reassuring the callers that help is on the way.
911 state emergency. Fire on Olive Recreation. I just heard it. It blew up, and my house is PG&E's off and everything. Okay, we're on our way. Thank you. You're welcome.
911 state emergency.
There's a fire across the street. It just blew up.
Okay. Olive in Maple area?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We have everything going.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
There's no PD emergency. Can you hold? No, we can't. Okay, what's it? Exploded. We've got it. Olive and Maple. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
The murder case of Jeffrey Dahmer gets stranger by the minute. That leads our New at 11 World Wrap tonight. The man charged with killing serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer sang aloud as he was led into court earlier today. Christopher Scarver's attorney was there to ask that his client undergo a mental evaluation. Scarver is charged with killing Dahmer and another inmate while the 3 cleaned the prison gym. Scarver has said that he heard voices telling him to commit the murders. You're looking at the first pictures allowed to be shot days after Flight 3379 crashed in Morrisville, North Carolina. The plane went down with so much force, it ripped trees from the ground as it crashed. Family members were also on hand to see the wreckage for themselves. The judge in the OJ Simpson case has put off until January deciding whether to allow evidence of violence in Simpson's marriage. He acted after defense attorneys complained prosecutors turned over more than 1,000 pages of documents at the last minute. Judge Lancito also promised to wrap up the issue of whether Simpson's privacy was violated during a jailhouse conversation with his minister. Time now to check in with Scott Stevens for our first look at tomorrow's weather. Scott?
JoAnne, if tomorrow is as nice as today was, I think we'll all be happy. We still have clear skies out now. The temperatures are cold. I think we'll see a few clouds developing towards sunrise. 21 degrees, mid-30s by noon, and we should peak up close to 40 once again by afternoon, but with increasing clouds. So all in all, it looks like your getaway Friday will be a nice day. That doesn't mean the weekend will be. You want to stick around to see what I mean coming up in a little bit.
I knew that was coming.
You bet.
All right, thanks, Scott. Coming up, Amtrak is putting the brakes on some of its trains to New York City. We'll have the rundown for you when we come back, so stay with us.
You're watching News Center 6, New at 11, with Jack Arneke and JoAnne Purtan.
If you're thinking about taking a trip to New York City via Amtrak this coming year, listen closely. We now know which runs the company will put the brakes on in order to save money. 3 trains between Albany, Rensselaer, and New York City will be cut as of April 1st. Now, the affected trains are the 8:50 a.m. from Albany to New York, which runs Monday through Friday, the 8:20 train running to New York on Saturday mornings, and the 12:45 train from New York that runs Sunday through Friday afternoons. One frequent rider we spoke to is not pleased with Amtrak's cuts.
Devastating. Do they care about the passengers at all? How are we going to get to New York? This was always the most economical way. With the infrastructure in New York State, to drive to New York, it takes like double the time, and the train's always been the best way to go, you know?
Amtrak is also slashing 5,500 jobs across the nation. The company says it doesn't know yet if any local jobs are in jeopardy. And though there may be fewer trains heading to New York City, there may be one before long that gets you there a whole lot faster. Assembly Democrats have formed a task force to look into high-speed rail, saying it's a concept in New York whose time has come. If you're confused about what auto insurance policy is best for you, the State Insurance Department wants to help you out. It's offering a new booklet with tips to pick a policy best suited for you. To order the booklet, call the department at 474-4557 and ask for auto insurance. And for drivers in Massachusetts, we've got some good news. Insurance rates will drop by over 7%, saving an average of $66 per car. Good news there. Coming up after noon at 11 tonight on Letterman, actor Michael J. Fox and the cast from the Broadway musical Showboat. Scott Stevens is next with a closer look at the weekend forecast and then previewing this holiday season's newest movies, one that may just leave you speechless.
Yeah? I'm not sure that we shouldn't not see each other anymore. Why do you keep meaning me to tell me that you can't be with me? Forever.
Would you please find a station?
Wait a minute.
Real Doppler. Scott Stevens, the fast forecast. New at 11.
Well, good evening, everyone. Still have some clouds out there, although they're very scattered as you move into the Capital District up northward. Still some clouds hanging in there, but a bright moon out there. 24 degrees on the temperature, dew point 22, so that's yielding a humidity of nearly 100%, running about 92. Light northeast winds at 5 miles per hour. Pressure now beginning to fall as the trough of low pressure is moving into the area. 30-58. Today's high 39, the morning low. In fact, the present temperature is the low at 24. That still leaves us several degrees above the normals of 39 and 18. As far as area temperatures, cool up at Glens Falls, 16 degrees, 19 in Plattsburgh, 34 at Newark. So most of the state with both sub-freezing temperatures, 27 in Binghamton, but with clouds and maybe some sprinkles headed into the Buffalo area. They're running about 32 degrees. Out west along the Pacific coast, they've got a big storm moving on in there, and that will provide us with some very interesting weather towards the latter part of the weekend. Really, the only locations with very mild temperatures happen to be South Texas and South Florida. The rest of the nation in typical late fall and early winter-like temperatures. As far as the radar is concerned, not much happening through the area. Got a few showers. In fact, this is false echoes moving into the area around Boston. But you can see we had a line of showers earlier in the day crossing Michigan, but those have just fallen apart. What we're watching now is a large area of flooding rains in Texas beginning to gather some strength, and then head up on this direction, and more showers in the northwest. That will prove to be an interesting weather feature come to the first part of next week. But lots of clouds associated with this dying storm. That will move overhead tonight and tomorrow, so we'll look for variably cloudy skies. But the trend is for it to be weakening, so I think we'll see a good deal of sun tomorrow. And then we've got to watch out for this big storm as it moves on in here. Right now, clear skies through the day, but you can see a band of higher clouds drifting overhead, so calling for increasing clouds tonight. Then into Saturday, looks like it could be kind of messy. Let's go to the forecast. Mostly clear and cold. Clouds, though, will hang in over the mountainous areas of Vermont and into upstate New York. Calm winds, 16 degrees on the chilly overnight low. Then tomorrow, with lots of sunshine early, then skies becoming cloudy through the afternoon and nighttime hours. Highs up near 40 degrees. Tomorrow night, cloudy. Maybe some snow showers developing out west. Lows at near 30. By Saturday, it looks like cloudy skies everywhere, damp with a mixture of snow, possibly some light rain mixed in with it, and 34 degrees. Then we cool off for Sunday. Just an outside chance for some light snow and 33. Then Monday, we get the snow, and we could get lots of it.
A big snowflake on Monday. I haven't seen a big snowflake on that map for a while. Oh, gosh.
We'll see how this unfolds.
All right. Thank you, Scott. Looking for some holiday cheer this weekend? I don't think the weather's going to give it to you. Then the Troy Music Hall may have the concert for you. We'll have a preview in Sea Saving Sample. Joe Tessitore here now with sports, and I don't know what you're going to talk about.
Well, we have no holiday cheer, I'll tell you that.
Yeah?
When it comes to baseball, nothing is cheery at all. The big suits of baseball told us a lesson tonight, so gather around, class. The professors of the negotiating table have come to a decision. That rowdy bunch is next in sports. In 1808, Sir Walter Scott wrote the famous, "Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive." Sir Walter would have made a good sports writer covering today's baseball news. The owners gathered this evening supposedly to tell us of their newly implemented salary cap, but instead they tangled quite a web. All arrived at the Chicago meetings, and they soon would enforce a 7-day delay on deciding on a salary cap. Acting Commissioner Bud Selig says the delay represents a genuine desire to reach an agreement at the bargaining table. Whatever, Bud. This is nothing more than the owners trying to make themselves look like the good guys. Negotiations broke off with the players yesterday, and it's hard to believe anything will be worked out before a spring training showdown.
We are really pushing it. We need to get on with it. We need to get on to signing contracts, and frankly, players need to know where they're going to play. 51% to 70% of America has told us they want us to get on with our system. It's not us. It's, you know, our fans are waiting for us to get our game back, and at some point we're going to have to do that, and all we've done here is ask for 7 more days to keep trying.
The Yankees keep trying to take advantage of this chaotic time in baseball by signing free agents. Teams and players scurrying with a salary cap in sight. Late last night, the Yanks acquired White Sox ace pitcher Jack McDowell. Jack is a restricted free agent and will pursue other offers, forcing the Yankees to match the highest bidder. But the Pinstripes didn't stop there. On a day in which the players told agents not to have their clients sign with any teams, someone wasn't listening, specifically Tony Fernandez. The veteran infielder inked a deal with the Yankees. He batted .279 last season with Cincy and was a perennial all-star, of course, in Toronto. Fernandez should take over the Yanks' shortstop duties. Big George is spending the money. The NFL playoff race is heating up, and yes, it's true, the New York Giants are a part of that race. The 7-7 Big Blue go up against the 7-7 Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday, but don't let the numbers confuse you. These are two teams going in opposite directions. Just like in Week 1 when they last met up, it was back then when the Giants looked like a powerhouse. Little did we know they would lose 7 straight at one point, but these G-men have recovered their early season form and are winners of 4 straight, while Philly has dropped 5 in a row. Still, the boys from New York are not taking Philly lightly.
Well, I think that we always expect to play a good Philadelphia football team when we go down there. You never can go to Philadelphia and expect an easy game. You know, my experience here in the past and the history of these games has been that it's always been a very physical, down-to-the-wire game.
No wire for Jim Kelly. It's over. After this hit last Sunday, Jim Kelly is officially out for the season. It was thought that Kelly might be able to return from a strained knee for the last game or maybe the playoffs, but after an exam today, doctors say he won't even be able to begin rehab for 6 to 8 weeks. Frank Reich, the comeback kid, will take on the Patriots this Sunday. Hey, the Pro Bowl announcement came out tonight. Bills, only 3 this year, but 3 great ones. Kastner making again with special teams. The Patriots with 3, and that's a great improvement for them. The Jets robbed Moore, the first since '89. The Cowboys had 11. Rookie Marshall Faulk is the starting running back. At this time last year, the Dallas Mavericks were busy redefining the word pathetic. They brought losing to a new level as the cellar dwellers of the NBA. Now they're the young upstarts. Tonight, the Boston Celtics would find out on their continuation of their Texas tour. Mavs working at fast break. Rookie sensation Jason Kidd pushing it. Williams finishing. Celtics do the running. Dominique wants the run. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Got it. Good. More Kidd. He's really the man, though. The steal and pass. Doug Smith likes it that way. And Jamal Mashburn, he likes it this way. All on his own between the trees. Cut him down, Mash Man. 122-113. New York out on the West Coast tonight. They're only up by 2. John Starks was 3 for his first 4 shots. Quite an improvement. Denver on top of Miami. The Lakers, 3-point winners in Houston. And Utah on top of Washington once again. Baseball strikes 7 more days. They're going to implement a salary cap. So we just sit and wait till it's total warfare once again.
Where do you get your energy, Joe?
I don't know.
Neither do I. I need some lessons. Thank you. An area man tries to pull a fast one on the judge. We'll tell you his story in tomorrow's headlines. And quick, do you have bad breath? Before you roll over to face your spouse, you'll want to see our next story. If bad breath is killing your social life, we may have a sigh of relief for you in tonight's new at 11 Plus, a special clinic you can really sink your teeth into. Lynn Kubenick explains.
Your breath. Sometimes you can see it. You don't want to smell it. And if it's really bad, it has a special name.
What I know about halitosis is that it's like really bad breath, and it doesn't go away even if you have mints or brush your teeth a lot.
Now on the University of Manitoba campus, there's help. An anti-halitosis clinic. Dentist Ken Hammond uses this equipment to figure out what's causing the problem. This machine measures volatile sulfur compounds. the nasty, rotting bacteria that smell. And this machine measures gum temperature to detect any inflammation.
So we look for the highest 127, and that's in the range of normal.
Oh, good. I'm so relieved. Common causes of halitosis, cavities, or periodontal disease, which attacks bones and gums. Dr. Hammond says he had a problem himself when he had a tonsil infection.
About a year ago, I had a tonsillar abscess, an abscess in my tonsil, and I couldn't notice myself that there was a problem. But my fiancé obviously noticed there was a problem.
This clinic is the first of its kind in Winnipeg, only the second one in Canada. Students on campus say there's a need for it.
I know a lot of people didn't want to go see this teacher because, like, of his breath and that. He was a nice guy and everything, but you really didn't want to stand and talk to him.
Yeah, faculty's bad for that. Faculty's bad for that.
Would you tell a friend if you noticed the problem?
If they had bad breath? Yeah, definitely.
No, I wouldn't tell anyone. I wouldn't tell them.
You just put up with it?
I'd put up with it, yeah.
If you do have a hunch you're an offender, you can expect to pay $400 to $600 for a diagnosis. You'll then have to visit a specialist to get the problem fixed. Vera Lynn Cubanek, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Stay with us. We have some breaking news on the Neighborhood Watch, plus Scott's morning forecast. First, a look at some more of tonight's winning lottery numbers. Good luck.